Good morning, and goeiemorgen. And as you can see, we've had some technical difficulties this morning. Our normal shot got lost somewhere in the mix between the new computer and the old computer. So, yeah.
That's why it looks like we're going on an expedition.
But it's always on an expedition. Aren't we always on an expedition? Aren't we world-class travelers?
We don't really color match this morning. We're going to hurt the people's eyes today.
So I'm sorry that my wife thought she's back in Africa.
It's very,
very African.
Very African.
That's very African.
Yes.
It's actually ethnical, but it's not. I've got to say to those haters out there, it's not real leopard, please.
It's very in at the moment. Doesn't matter what.
Is it really in?
Yeah.
It was in the 70s as well, I think.
Yeah. Okay, today
what is the topic?
We are talking about. We saw a post on another Facebook page for international South Africans living internationally, wherever, and the topic was you came here from there because you didn't like it there, and now you want to change here to be like there. You are welcome here, only don't try to make here like there. If you want to make here like there, you shouldn't have left there in the first instance.
It's a lot of there's there.
Yes. I think this is just something that we've also come across since we've been in New Zealand.
And I think in a way we were guilty of that for a period of time.
Yeah. The thing is, this is not about when you just miss stuff from South Africa, when you miss your food and that. This is not what this is about. This is about trying to change the country that you now live in so that it can be like South Africa, which it can't.
Well, let's also go a bit further and say good morning and welcome to all the people from Getting a Job in New Zealand. We are live on that channel this morning as well, and that is people from all walks of life, all areas of the world. So it's not only making your new home as South Africa, but as wherever you come from, India, Pakistan, wherever else.
That's right. Yeah.
You got to leave behind where you come from to come here, and it's difficult.
Yeah, the thing is, it's a mindset thing.
It's a mindset thing. You're quite right.
Yeah, I know of a lot of people that's been here for so many years, like 15 or 20 years, and they still they haven't adapted to the country. They still miss their life in South Africa. I get it when you miss. I get it when you miss your family. I get it when you miss your friends, and I get that it's difficult to make new friends and to put yourself out there to fit in. But we are talking about people that there is a comment on this specific post of someone that said she was in a conversation and the guy said he struggles to find a job. And when they delved into it, the thing is actually that he thought, well, I'm Afrikaans speaking, so I can't see why I should speak English.
Okay.
So how do you think you're going to find a job?
It's like going to Italy and thinking you can speak Afrikaans.
Yeah. If you want to speak Afrikaans all the time, you should stay in South Africa. This is an English country, and your children will learn the Kiwi accent. They will speak English when they get older. So they will still speak Afrikaans.
And the parents will struggle to understand them because the Kiwi accent is difficult to understand. To be quite frank with it. I was going to say good morning to Tian on the other side and good morning to somebody who says good morning. But this was probably the best of the morning. Hi, love the leopard.
Oh, thank you. Me too. He doesn't.
I don't think I'll look good in leopard skin.
Yeah, well, I don't think so either.
Perhaps we should try it one day. No, I don't think so.
I'm going to put on my glasses so that I can read.
Oh, my goodness. That's what happens if you become...
Yes.
You marry older woman.
You didn't marry me when I was old.
You become a bit older now.
Yeah. As I said, I think it's a mindset thing. You need to kind of embrace where you are at the moment
Yeah.
when you come to New Zealand. And I know in the beginning it's very adventurous and you just can't wait to get here. But then they talk about the honeymoon phase. When that's over, you kind of long for where you came from. And I think there will always be I don't say, and I don't think anyone on this group meant it like you should forget where you come from.
But why? Let's quickly delve into that factor. Why do you long back?
You know what?
It's weird, eh? I've been through that. Let's be honest. I've been through that. So
you know what I think? I thought the other day, if we grew up anywhere, it's not about longing for my growing up in South Africa. It's longing for growing up. So even if I would have grown
you're not
up,
making sense.
Yeah. Even if I grew up in New Zealand,
okay,
somewhere along the line, you will still be longing for what you had when you were growing up. It's the times that changes. It's not so much the country that you grew up. It's the way that you grew up, I think.
But then you would have longed for that in South Africa as well, because I mean,
you would have.
Things change.
You would have. I mean, even in South Africa, I longed for the time I spent with my grandparents and the time that I spent with my family during Christmas time and whatever. So even in South Africa, that was what I was longing for.
Yeah.
So having that feeling in New Zealand, it's got nothing to do with South Africa as such. It's got more to do with just the belonging that you remember. Yeah.
The
belonging. That's what it is. Yeah. And I must say that it took quite some time for me to feel that I belong in New Zealand. For a long time, I felt like I really didn't belong anywhere because I didn't belong in South Africa anymore, but I certainly didn't belong in New Zealand.
And let's face it, we all left the country where we were for a better.
Yeah.
For the understanding that we will have a better future.
And the thing is, it's not the country that makes you feel that you're not belonging. It's not the people that makes you feel like that. It's all inside. It's all, it's a thing that you have to decide for yourself. You have to decide one day, this is my country, I belong here, and this is my home, and just kind of live that life.
Yeah. And it's difficult. You gotta adapt, and you gotta, I want to say embrace. Is that the right word? You got to embrace whatever they offer you, even if it's something that you've never done before. Try that and just be there.
Yeah, I find that a lot of people, I think with me, in my instance, it was exactly the same. When you've been here for a while, there's people here that haven't been back to South Africa for 17 years.
Yeah.
There's people here that we couldn't go back for the last 3 or 4 years, but there are people here that have never been back. And I think in your head, you're longing for something that maybe doesn't exist anymore. So I find that a lot of people that goes back to visit, as soon as they're there, and you soon realize that it's not the same. The people are not the same. Everyone kind of changed and they just grew on their own without you.
Yeah.
So I think then it makes it easier for you to start thinking that, okay, New Zealand is my home and I want to go home.
Interesting comment on that side saying, I longed for my people, I longed for my routine. That's from Renita Montessa Bosman. So I longed for my people and I longed for my routine.
I think it's probably got to do with the people that you had to help you. The lifestyle in New Zealand is quite different from what it was in South Africa, so you have to adapt.
It's not that quite different. It's actually a leap year's different.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about your personal life coming here. You don't have all the help that you had in South Africa.
For me, it was the longing for the familiarity. I felt like an alien in my beginning years in New Zealand. Everything was new, and I felt like I had to learn so much so quickly.
I know, and you have
to learn, otherwise they
throw you in at the deep side, and you just have to swim. Yes, and that takes a while. So I just what I think the topic kind of is just don't keep dwelling on. Oh, this is not like South Africa.
It's not going to be like
it's never going to be like South Africa because it is not South Africa. And I think some people on this post commented also, you have to make that mind shift before you get on the plane.
Yeah.
Don't come here and think that you will adapt eventually, but you have to have the right mindset when you come to make it easier for you to adapt.
And that's back to the topic. Don't come and try to make here there. And Renier and Montesa Bosman just said on the other side as well, they're longing for their support system, mostly because we had small children. I fully understand that.
It must be very difficult. And the childcare in New Zealand is very expensive.
Yeah.
So I was talking to another mother yesterday, I think, and she's going to start working now, but her whole pay is actually just going to pay for her little one to be in childcare. So if you don't have someone there to assist you, it's really difficult. And I think that's why it is so important to try and make friends, not only friends in your age group, but try to make friends who's older, so that they can kind of be there when you need someone. Maybe make friends with someone that works from home or stuff. So when your child is sick, they can maybe just take your child in for the day.
Somebody, as you could also use it, substitute grandfather and grandmother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it's really, I mean, for us, we're not that old, but
Come on.
It's also nice for us to have little ones around. So I think don't be afraid to reach out to people that's not in your age group. We all we miss our grandchildren as much as you miss your parents. So I think make use of the opportunity to just reach out to people that's not.
Somebody just saying it was my support network. I'm building that again.
Yes. The support I think is really
morning. You two beautiful people. Goodness me, I haven't heard that in a while. Eh?
Okay, let's see what.
But I'm just saying, my wife and I didn't make the move for us, but for a better future for our children. And but you make the move to New Zealand for a lot of reasons. Now, adaptive, very few people actually came here because the money was that good. No. Let's be quite frank.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. It's nature. It is, I want to call it freedom for me. For me, it's freedom.
Yeah.
The fact that I can go out and enjoy myself.
Even if you go to a different country for your children, you still have to be happy.
Yeah.
You can't allow yourself to be unhappy for the next 40, 50 years just because you made the move for your children.
And the problem is, if you are unhappy, it reflects back to the kids at the end of the day.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, they're not going to be happy.
They're not going to be happy, no.
Yeah.
It actually looks as if I'm sitting in front of you today. I think this shirt makes me look fat.
Don't wear it again. Wear leopard.
I must get a leopard skin.
Let me see what else.
Bernard Dalport saying, working for a corporate, the difference in the work culture is an eye-opener. Also, the SA humor is very different. Oh my goodness, let's not go there. So, sadly, not everybody understands our humor, and I think it's because we came from a difficult place to start off with.
But what I found is that some of them actually do.
Yeah.
And if you kind of spend more time with them, they learn your kind of humor, and they are actually very sharp.
They are, but they struggle to think the way we think.
No, they don't.
That's a fact. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's just different.
I think sometimes the jokes that we make sounds a little cruel. And it's actually just a joke.
Just to keep us alive. That's what we did in South Africa. So, Jan Riley saying on the other side, 12 years ago, we moved to New Zealand. Within this time, meeting people and friends, and some come and some go. This was difficult. This happens. So, it's the ones that stick around that's normally there for the rest of your life, good or bad. So, South Africans is a very dry humor.
Yeah, but isn't it just laughing?
The thing is, I think the South African humor is something that only the South Africans understand.
Oh my word, look at that one. Kiwis haven't got any humor, especially after last Saturday. And the thing is, they can't lose. They're very bad losers. But I know a lot of South Africans that are very bad losers.
Even worse.
We had friends, if you go for a braai and there's a rugby game and their team loses, you're not even having a braai anymore.
Yep.
So I think that's everywhere, probably.
So I can't wait to get there.
Yes, you will love it. If you come with the right mindset, you will love it.
New Zealand is one of these countries where you can really express yourself, where you can really be all that you want to be.
I was actually thinking the other day, we should have, I don't know how you can do this, but I want to find out how many people that came here are now doing something totally different from that.
Many,
I know, but I want to know, how did you
Right.
adapt to that? And how did you get to that point where you decided, well, I'm going to do this? I think it's because we're South Africans, we're entrepreneurs. So if you see that you're struggling to find a job or something, you just start something on your own. So I'm really, I would love to know that.
I'm a financial advisor in New Zealand, and I speak to a lot of clients, and one of the things I have to ask them is what work are they doing? And once we start getting into that sphere of field, I ask them sometimes, what have they done in South Africa? Or if I only get the feeling they've only been doing what they're doing now for a very short period of time, then I do ask what they've been doing. And it's quite interesting where they came from and where they are going now. And the fact when everybody tells me is they're not going back.
No.
They're not going back to the work they had or the life they had. So
yeah, someone here put it very nicely. I'm going to read this comment. Keeping the roots and fruits healthy by feeding it with both cultures, accepting that my roots are in South African soil and giving my fruits to this person who's living in Australia. And I think I will never forget where I come from. I love South Africa and I always will. But I know that I moved to New Zealand and I knew that it's going to be different. So I think when you go back to South Africa, enjoy what you enjoyed there. Go back and enjoy it. But don't expect to get that here. It's not going to be the same. We've got lots of South African. We've got a Spur. We've got Nando's. So it's not that stuff. You won't miss that.
Yeah. And if you want South African food, you can go to any of the South African shops or Bolton or Boerewors or even the Kiwi butchers has now started to do T-bones and these type of stuff. So they are adaptable and they have found that there is a market for this, but it's still not exactly home. And you do not need to make it home. There's one or two things.
And I think another thing that's it's different, and again you have to adapt to that. The shops are different. The coffee shops are different. So in the beginning, I was also saying to Jan, I don't know how they do these coffee shops because in South Africa, it's just different. It looks different. People have got a different perspective. But you also adapt to that.
What is that little sausages they do that they think is hot dogs?
Sausage sizzles.
Sausage sizzles. Yeah. Come on, guys. That is crap. Let's be honest. Jeez.
The South African kids that grew up in New Zealand love that sausages.
It is. But what has gone wrong there? So, I am a bid writer. I was an accountant and worked in sales before. I think that's a very famous painter that is writing that. I know exactly who that is. So, also, well, I'm in training and development manager, but hoping to start a business outside one settle. Wonderful. I love chatting to South Africans and not having to explain or apologize for my jokes.
I know. That's the thing. Well, I know there's also a comment on this page that I was just scrolling through. The guy said the first year that they came, I don't know where they're living, that they went to the new country, they tried not to mingle too much with South Africans, just to kind of get into the groove of the new country that they were in, which is a very good idea. So they really stayed away from South African food, tried not to mingle too much with South African people, and that helped them to adapt to the new country. Now they're starting to interlink with other people again. For me, it's different.
I wouldn't say each to its own.
For
them it worked, for me it wouldn't have worked. So,
I needed my people to make me feel at home in a new country. That's just, I think
and I think, I don't know where that person is, but I made New Zealand my home. And here is a good one. It says, where is home? It is where your close family is.
Yeah.
And here we didn't come here with close family except a son, but we've got friends now that is as close family. And that makes a massive difference.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. Before we came, I was really struggling with the idea of leaving South Africa and leaving my home. And I ended up seeing someone just to get to get me through that, because I didn't know what else to do anymore. And when he asked me, so what is it that's making you so anxious? And I was, yes, I'm going to miss my family and I'm going to miss my home and whatever. And the one thing that he said that sticks with me until this very day, he said to me, Mariska, where is your home? So I was like, you thinking, oh, well, it's Cape Town. That's my home. And he said, Jan is your home.
Brownie points.
So, and that really made, I don't know, there's a switch that just went on. It doesn't matter where I am, as long as I've got him, I will feel content. And that's true. And I think that is the one thing that really changed my mind about the whole immigration process. Why am I emotional now?
I don't know. Please just don't cry, because leopards don't cry. So.
Yeah. So I think you must just, your kids and your family that you're bringing with you, if they are your home, then I think it will be easier for you.
Yeah. Somebody just saying it'll never be home, but we have learned to make it home away from home.
Yes.
New Zealand has been so good to us. That's a fact.
Yes.
Quick few other ones. Let's talk about married couples, and when you just get here and you only have each other and the fights. Yep. It's one of those things, but it's a growing process.
As long as you stick together, as long as you don't get that fights become a huge thing. We all have fights, and I mean, it's difficult to adapt, especially if you've got kids.
Yep.
I can just imagine what can go on in a home. We don't even have small children, and I knew what went on in our homes. Yes, it's difficult.
And we've got a visitor this morning. Okay, jump off. It's good to join sports groups or other groups. It also brings you closer, especially with these groups, if they aren't only South Africans, if they have got other people from other nationalities.
Yes.
And that's one thing about New Zealand. New Zealand is a cooking pot of different nationalities.
Yes.
I nearly think that the Kiwis are outnumbered here in the long run.
And I think that is the one thing that also helped me to adapt, because when we got here, I really felt alienated, that like that other person said. Yeah. You will walk around and you will really feel like you don't belong here. You don't really know where you're going. It feels like everyone is watching you and everyone is knowing that you are from a different country too. But then you realize, if you walk the streets of Auckland, you will feel like you are overseas. You are overseas, but it will feel like you're in a totally different country.
That's an interesting question. Are you really overseas? Because this is home now.
This is home now.
So South Africa's overseas.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Europe or Asia or whatever. Okay. Every single person that you walk past, I can promise you, is probably not from New Zealand. So that also made my mind shift. So I was thinking, you know what? None of these people they're all immigrants. So that makes it a little bit easier for you to think, oh, well, if they can make this their country, so can I.
Yeah. So, understand the adaptation process. You need to adapt, and you need to change your mind. You need to change the way you think. So it's difficult. It's really difficult. But it is worthwhile.
Someone's asking what the time is. It is now 7:25 in the morning.
In the morning. So good morning to those people that's having evening in other countries. So making it worthwhile. It's just worthwhile. There's a lot of things you are going to miss from wherever you come from. There's a lot of things you are going to miss for the rest of your life where you come from. But there's a lot of other stuff that you will find more attractive than where you come from. Yeah. So
I think if you just put yourself out there, you will learn to love the New Zealand culture, and you will learn to love the food that they love, and or that's available. The food is actually really good. I can't say that I miss. If you go to a restaurant, you get really, really good food.
Yep. Let me say something about the food. The amount of food you get, except it's a French restaurant, because those guys can't eat. I don't know why they're so thin. Oh, that's the reason why they're so thin. Portions like this, come on. But normally the food at your average Kiwi restaurant or Asian or wherever restaurant you go to down here, it's enough.
Yeah.
So it's good food. It's not bad, and most of the times, if you have two people, you can actually share a plate.
Yeah.
So,
I think the thing that you must maybe try is just when you with South Africans in New Zealand, enjoy it, laugh, cry, do whatever you want to do, but don't get stuck there. Move out and enjoy what this country offers you. It's got so much to offer. Don't try to make it New Zealand. And then just one other thing I want to say, don't think that all the South Africans will be your friends. You will make other friends. You will have to make other friends as well. If they weren't going to be your friends in South Africa, they're probably not going to be your friends
in New Zealand as well. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. Not the fact that we all come from the same country means that we all have to be friends.
Yeah.
So some people will like you, some won't. So if you get, I don't know, if you find that someone doesn't like you, don't be like you, but I don't know, just don't dwell on the past. Move on, find a different tribe. So, but I know it can be really difficult.
So and you got to find people that's similar to you, because you as a person is going to go on as normal, although you're in a different country. It's not going to change your, how can I say, not going to change your personality, just the fact that you moved to New Zealand. So
you're probably going to change your occupation and a lot of other
change
stuff.
cars and stick to new brands, just don't buy a
different
Ford.
Houses. Yeah. The thing is, don't moan about what the houses look like. Don't moan about what the schools are like. I know it's not perfect, but this is it. This is what you get. So yeah.
And this is as good as it gets.
Yes,
I know New Zealand has now gotten a bit of a flack because of the immigration policies, but guys, this is as good as it gets. I can't think of any country that's really better than this, to be quite frank.
Every country is going to have
its expensive,
problems.
but
yeah, well.
All right, time has come and gone. And this morning we still don't have the right video to play out with, so we'll play out with what we normally love to do on weekends, and this is drive our vehicles and make them dirty. And sadly enough, I haven't taught my wife yet to wash the car.
It's never going to happen.
Come on, love, you can do that. Take off your glasses, just show the people your beautiful eyes. I mean, come on. All right, guys and girls, thanks a lot.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy you. See you all next time. Next week, same time, same place on 30 Minutes with Jan. See you.
Bye.